Right now our game works pretty well. The player moves, objects fall, collisions increase the score, and we have a simple user interface. But there's one big problem. The game never ends. You can play forever, and nothing meaningful happens. In this video, we're going to add actual game rules. For something to feel like a real game, it needs rules. There has to be a way to succeed and a way to fail. So in this case, the rule will be simple. The player is trying to catch falling objects, but if they miss too many, the game will end. We already remove objects when they fall off the screen, now we'll treat that as a missed catch. So whenever an object reaches the bottom, we'll increase a miss counter. So this will be just like our score variable. At the top of our class, let's add a new property. We're going to call this misses. Now down in our init method, we'll do this. Our misses will be equal to 0. Now down in our update method, down here where we destroy our game object if it leaves our scene, we'll increase our number of misses. We'll do this.misses plus equals 1. And outside our for loop, we'll want to see if our number of misses has reached a threshold, and if so, we'll want to end our game. So for that, we'll add another property to our class. We're going to call this max misses. And while we're here, we'll want a property to keep track if our game is over. So we'll add one more property. We're going to call this isGameOver. So now down in our init method, we're going to set our max misses equal to 3. And then we'll set isGameOver to be false. So now, down in our update method, outside our for loop, we'll do if our number of misses is greater than or equal to our max misses, then we want to end our game. So for ending our game, we're going to add a new method to our class. We're going to call this handleGameOver. So let's add that method at the bottom of our class. And the first thing we'll do is we're going to set isGameOver to be equal to true. So now that we're keeping track of when our game should end, we're going to want to add a check to our update method, and if our game is over, then we don't want to run our logic. So if our game is over, then we want to return early. So now if we save, come back to our game, I'm going to catch a few objects. Now I'm going to let a few objects fall and reach the bottom of our screen, and now we reach our game over state. So we can no longer move our player, we're no longer moving our objects, but we have one big issue where we're still spawning our objects. So once our game is over, we'll want to make sure we shut off our timer event. To do that, we'll need to keep track of our event, so we'll add a new property to our class. We're going to call this timer event. Now down in our create method, when we create our event, we'll want to store that reference. Now down in our handleGameOver method, we want to reference our timer event, and now we want to do the remove method. Our remove method will tell Phaser to expire our event and remove it from our timer. So now what should happen is when our game is over, we should no longer be able to move, our objects stop falling, and now our event no longer fires, so we no longer create new objects. Now, we need feedback for the player. We're going to add a simple text message to the screen that's going to clearly tell the player what happened. So for that, in our handleGameOver method, we're going to add a new text game object. So we're going to do this.add.text, and now we want to center our text. So we'll do this.scale.width, we'll divide it by 2, we'll do the same thing for our height, and now we're going to display the text game over. So now for our text, we want to use the same style that we applied to our score. So let's go to our create method. I'm going to take our variable for our text config, we're going to move it outside of our create method, and we'll place that outside our class. So now we have it defined in one location, and now we can use that down in our handleGameOver method. So now if we save, once our game is over, we should see our text appear. Nice. However, our text isn't quite centered. What's happening is, by default, when you create a text game object in Phaser, our origin for that game object is always in our top left-hand corner. So if we want our text to truly be centered, we need to update our origin to be in the center. So for that, we can use our setOrigin method, and we'll pass in 0.5. Finally, we want the player to be able to restart the game. The easiest way to do that is to restart our scene, and so we just need to give the player a way to do so. So for that, we're going to listen for our pointer down event from our input manager. So if we do this, we'll do input to reference our input plugin. We're going to do once to register an event listener. Now we want to do our phaser, our input, our events. Now we want to do our pointer down event. And then we have to specify our callback that we want to invoke when this event is fired. So when this event is fired, we want to do this.scene.restart. So what we're doing here is we're telling Phaser when this event is fired, we want to listen for it one time. When this event is fired, we want to perform this code here, this callback. And all we're doing in our callback is we're telling our scene manager we want to restart our current scene. So how this will work is in our game, once we click on our canvas element, the event will be fired, and then Phaser is going to invoke this code here, which tells us we want to restart our scene. So now if we play our game, we collect a few objects, we reach our game over state, now our text shows up. If we click, we restart back at the beginning, and our score is reset back to 0. And this works because our scenes manage their own state. When we restart the scene, Phaser recreates everything. Our player position, score, falling objects, it's a clean reset. Finally, for our game, we're going to add a UI element to represent how many lives the player has left. So this will be very similar to what we did for our score text game object. So we come up to the top of our class, we'll add a new property. We're going to call this lives text game object. Now down in our create method, let's copy our 2 blocks of code for where we create our score. We'll paste it. We'll call this lives text prefix, and then we'll have our lives text game object. We'll update our string, we'll do lives. Let's update our Y position. Let's do 30. We're going to update our reference here. Now instead of doing our score, we're going to take our max number of misses and subtract our number of misses. Now if we save, we'll see our new text game object, and we'll see they're overlapping. So we're going to update our Y position. We'll do 50. So now we just need to update our text once our player has a miss. So we come down to our update method, and now we want to do this, our live text game object. We'll call set text. We'll take our max misses, and we'll subtract our misses. So now if we save, if we miss one of our objects, we should go down to 2. Then we'll go down to 1. Then once we hit 0, our game is over. And now we have a complete game. You can move, catch objects, score points, miss objects, lose, and restart. In the final video of this course, we'll talk about what you learned and where to go next with Phaser.